Happy WrestleMania Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to JT Channel. And once again, I am going back on something I said in the video. It's kind of what I do. I made that video for Godzilla Kong, which thank you to everyone who's watched it. At time of recording, it is at 146 views, so thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And in that video, I said I might do a roundup of everything that happens over WrestleMania weekend. Screw that. I am going to go ahead and give you my honest reactions to WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Saturday, WrestleMania 40. And honestly, my reactions are, you can see them. These are bags under my eyes. Putting this one to bed, which my wife did, who, as always, is just off to the side of the camera here.
Sorry, mixing up flavor packet and water.
But staying up as late as we did, 10 o'clock at night, with a 1-year-old and 2 cats that are starting to interact in a not great way. I was exhausted, tried to go to bed. It was hard to go to sleep because we had seen Godzilla Kong: The New Empire. I was still hype off that. I was still hype off Mania. And I decided, fuck it. We're at the minute mark. I'm going to go ahead and do my WrestleMania review. I will say I can't guarantee a Night 2 review tomorrow. I will be back at work. I work for a moving company. I might not be home in time to do the video and catch the Raw after WrestleMania. So we'll see. Coca-Cola. I'm not going to do the Jacksepticeye thing.
It's not the zero sugar. So
no, it's not.
Anyway.
Oh boy, this is off to a great start. Okay, so basically, me and the handy dandy notebook, I had to write down the matches in order with little check marks above who won. I know who won, but I forgot the order. I knew match 1, 2, and 7, but the middle just kind of jumbled up in my head. I've watched NXT Stand and Deliver. I watched the Slammies. I've watched the Hall of Fame. I watched SmackDown. I don't miss anything WrestleMania weekend. Don't expect a Stand and Deliver review. I want to do this right now. The only thing I'm going to tell you about Stand and Deliver, watch the North American title match between Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak. It is big, meaty men slapping meat, like Big E would say, but also there's a Canadian destroyer in that match that I know that move's overdone in another company. I love AEW. I'm just being facetious. But to see who did it to who, spoiler alert, it was Dijak. He did it to Josh Briggs. No, other way around, maybe. Maybe Briggs did. Anyway, it was the combination of Briggs and Dijak, and the way they pulled off, it just looks brilliant. Obafemi is the future of pro wrestling. He is the definition of big, meaty men. The three of them kill each other. They throw each other around, and there's lots of high-flying moves. It's really good. I really recommend it. And I talked about Obafemi being the future. Trick Williams and Carmelo Hayes are going to run WWE one day. I don't think that's hyperbole. I don't think I'm overstating anything. Over the last 2 years, I've been watching them, and they are, yes, baby, they are incredible, and they main evented Stand and Deliver. They overshadowed the World's Championship match, which was also great. So that's all I can say about that. This is a WrestleMania review, but I just want to, that's my real quick thoughts on Stand and Deliver. It was awesome. Make sure you watch the North American title match in the main event. So let's go. 3.5 minutes in, we're going to start talking about WrestleMania 40, Night 1. It all kicked off with Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch, probably my number one women's dream match like ever. After Becky and Lita, that was my number one women's dream match. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that Motionless in White played Rhea to the ring. I'm a huge metalcore fan. They are within my top 5 favorite bands probably. That was awesome. They did a great performance. Rhea, you could tell, was really excited. Rhea Ripley won. Wasn't a super long match. Becky was reportedly sick, had strep throat, 102-degree fever. I don't know if that played into the time or not. With there being 13 matches over 2 nights, with 7 on night 1, 6 on night 2, one of the matches kind of had to suffer time-wise. So I think that was this match, but that doesn't mean it was bad. Both women looked incredible. They had this spot that is just stuck in my head where Rhea had Becky on her shoulders, and they went over the top rope to the floor and landed on their feet. And then Becky was dropped in an electric chair. It was the craziest spot, maybe of the night. Well, no, we'll get to that later. But it was a crazy spot. They looked amazing. Rhea hits a riptide into the turnbuckles, and then a regular riptide and retains. I have no problem with that. On my picks, I did pick Becky Lynch, but I predicted Rhea. I love Rhea Ripley. And considering what happens the rest of the night, I definitely think Rhea is going to break away from the Judgment Day here eventually and continue being the most dominant female on the roster. The tag team title ladder match was next. It was New Catch Republic. It was A-Town Down Under, DIY, Awesome Truth, the Judgment Day, obviously, and my brain is, the New Day. Whoo! It was a freaking New Day. I made my daughter laugh because she's trying to bother the cat. It was
The new cat.
It was I called it a very Attitude Era ladder match, which isn't much of a surprise with Triple H in charge. And I said this earlier watching Stand and Deliver. With D-Generation X in charge of WWE right now, it's feeling very Attitude Era with all the good Attitude Era stuff, not the bad. But it was an Attitude Era style ladder match. Lots of chaos. They brought out tables. They brought out chairs, so it basically became a TLC match. A-Town Down Under pulled down the tag team titles, and then Grayson Waller was immediately powerbombed through a ladder, so congratulations, guys. JD McDonut showed up and got thrown through 2 tables, and it was like a brutal table. Like, he went through one perfectly, but the second one his head kind of hit. And R-Truth pulled down the Raw tag team title, so the Awesome Truth are the tag team champs. This isn't ups and downs or some perfect review show. This is a reaction, so I'm not going to run through the whole show or the whole matches. I'm just telling you the big spots. There were some good ladder spots and stuff as well. I'm blanking on some of them, but and DIY had a D-Generation X style entrance. It was their music with like the DX style entrance. If you know, you know. So A-Town Down Under, the big bad guy heels. They are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and the Awesome Truth are the Raw Tag Team Champions. R-Truth got a WrestleMania moment. Got major pop from the crowd for that. So good for them. I was really happy for both. My brother and I were talking about this. Austin Theory just hasn't been treated right. He's a great in-ring competitor, and he was just always given crap. But him and Grayson together, A-Town Down Under, is awesome. And segue, Awesome Truth, obviously. The Miz is a great in-ring competitor, one of the best of all time, in my opinion, especially in WWE. So he deserved this as much as Truth did. Next up was Rey Mysterio and Andrade against Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. This was the Lucha Libre showcase of the weekend. It was beautiful. I don't know what other word to use. Dominic Mysterio is a great bad guy, but even Michael Cole, whose whole thing is calling Dominic a piece of shit constantly, even he had to admit that Dom, and we all have to admit this, Dom has really improved over the last 12 months. So you have all 4 of these Lucha Libre legends. Even Dom's going to be a legend one day. Flying around the ring, doing what they do best. You have Legado and LWO on the outside. They, of course, do all their stuff. Joaquin Wilde got to do that insane springboard launch he did on NXT a couple months ago, I think it was, where he stands on the middle rope and the LWO pulls the rope and he flies. I don't understand. He goes like 6,000 feet in the air or something. He goes absolutely flying up the WrestleMania stage. Huge pop, big WrestleMania moment. Referee's distracted. Dominic's about to cheat. The 2 largest luchadors in the history of professional wrestling come out of the crowd and stop him. And then Rey picks up the victory. He hits the 6-1 Andrade hits that DDT he does. It turns out they are players for the Philadelphia Eagles. So 2 massive men wearing lucha masks. They unmask. They're Philadelphia Eagles. Pat McAfee goes nuts. The crowd goes absolutely ballistic for obvious reasons. They're in Philly. Like I said, really fun match. I kind of expected Dom to get his win back, but this was the feel-good fun match of the night because you got the Eagles and you got Rey and the lucha stuff. It was really good. It was really fun. Too bad that they did this, what they did to Dragon Lee. I would have loved to see him in that match, but it's fine. Up next, brother versus brother, Uso versus Uso, Jimmy versus Jay. My favorite video package of the whole weekend. You got to see it. It's a Brothers Keeper thing. It's really good. They use their real names to talk about their lives. It's just awesome. The match, what do you expect? It's Jimmy versus Jay. It was fantastic. I'm going to say the line. 5 stars, 6.25 in the Tokyo Dome. It was really good. Jimmy got a lot in, and I appreciated that because we all just, when we think about the main star of the Usos, we all go to Jay. He's main event Jay Uso. But Jimmy is, his twin. They are equals. They really are. But we all knew it. Jay was going to get the win. Jay did get the win. It was an awesome match. They got plenty of time. They had all their spots. It was good. Plus, it started with, Jimmy was coming to the ring. Jay just dove at him because it's a blood feud between brothers. So, and more than anything, I'm just happy for him. I bet Rikishi, their dad, it was in the back, just tears of joy. So good for the Usos. Awesome match. Didn't expect anything less. Damage Control versus Bianca Belair, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. Naomi, Jade, and Bianca had this phenomenal entrance. That's the word my brother used, where they were all standing, posing on this giant scaffold that was coming down like a podium. And then Jade came onto the stage, Naomi came on the stage. They all came down to the ring to Bianca's music. Everybody looked incredible. Special shout out to Kairi Sane. All I could think during that match is how awesome her makeup and hair was. This was her biggest WrestleMania. It might have been her first WrestleMania. I'm not entirely sure. But she looked fantastic. Everybody looked great. It went exactly like you think it would. It was very back and forth. But in the end, Jade hit Kairi Sane with the Jaded after Naomi took out, I think, Asuka. And then Bianca hit the KOD on Dakota. And then the Jaded to Kairi, 1, 2, 3. Jade picks up the win. Bianca continues to be undefeated at WrestleMania. Naomi gets a win on her first WrestleMania back. It was really good. I can't think of any two super crazy spots. I think Kairi Sane did an insane elbow to Bianca while she was standing on the outside. That was cool. And of course, Jade ran wild. It was the Jade show for sure. She got the hot tag and all that. So really fun match. I'm really happy for those three. I mentioned Obafemi, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. Now these three, it's African-American representation over the weekend, and it has been brilliant. I don't even know what else to say. It was really good, and of course, Damage Control needed to lose. Then you had, I said the Rey Mysterio match was the fun moment. I said feel good as well. I take that back because the feel good moment of the night, Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship, and Sami Zayn won. It was, I teared up a little bit. I'm going to be honest. Sami has worked really hard over this last year. Last WrestleMania Saturday, him and Kevin Owens main evented and beat the Usos, longest tag team champion reign of all time. Now this year, he was semi-main eventing night one against Gunther. The match was awesome. There was a lot of brutal, chops. Sami took multiple power bombs and a frog splash and kicked out. I bought that. It was way late in the match. On the way to the ring, they did the thing they love to do now, and they do it with Sami more than do it with anyone else, where they showed Sami in the back. He saw his wife. He saw his son. He saw Chad Gable. Then he saw Kevin Owens, and we followed him all the way out to the stage where the tracking went nuts. The camera started to screw up. But it was a really awesome match. Eventually, Sami Zayn hit the brain buster, if you know what that is. If you don't, it's a brain buster on the top turnbuckle. It's something he did on the indie scene as El Generico. And I think Pat McAfee even called it like that, the brain buster. That's what the move was called. He hit that. He hit 2 haluva kicks. 1, 2, 3. We have a brand new Intercontinental Champion. Awesome moment for Sami. Crowd went nuts. I was really, really happy. I couldn't go nuts because we had a sleeping baby by that point. So, awesome match. Main event, the Bloodline, The Rock and Roman Reigns taking on Seth freaking Rollins and Cody Rhodes. The word I used to describe this match about 4 or 5 minutes before it ended was mental. This match was mental. The Rock looked incredible, much better than he had in past recent matches, I guess. It's clear he's been training up big for this. The match started with Seth and Roman. At one point, they started brawling to the outside. Rock and Cody were fighting, and Seth and Roman were fighting another direction. And Rock told the referee, if you count, you're fired. I don't fuck around. So that was really cool. And they basically the first half of this match isn't even worth talking about, in my opinion. You got Cody and The Rock, you got Seth and The Rock, you had Cody and Roman for a while, but it didn't start picking up. They had 45 minutes. The match was super long, which I expected. But when The Rock said that, it kind of turned into Bloodline rules. There were no interferences in this match. But Rock and Cody were going up in the stands, fighting in the crowd. So Seth and Roman were fighting on the stage. Maybe it was the other way around. It might have been Roman and Cody. Either way, they were brawling all around the arena, up on the stage. They were just beating the hell out of each other. It was really good. But then there was the spot that I want to talk about the most. It was this, within seconds, these two things happened. Rock and Cody were on the announce table. Rock was going to rock bottom Cody. Seth stopped him. Cody rock bottomed the Rock off of the Spanish announce table through the regular announce table. And then just 2 or 3 seconds later, the camera turned and Roman speared Seth through the barricade. It was an awesome double moment. Everyone was wiped out. But eventually, it got down to the fact that Seth just couldn't get back up after that spear. The Rock, or Cody, had hit 2 crossroads. He was going to hit a third. Roman fought him was trying to break out of it into the ropes. Rock whipped him with that Mama Rhodes belt. Roman hit this massive spear, tagged the Rock in, rock bottom, people's elbow, 1, 2, 3. Michael Cole said, Cody is screwed. It's now Bloodline rules later tonight, which I'm expecting to be Shenanigans Central. I'm expecting every wrestler who has ever existed to show up. Well, that's a different video. As far as my reaction to that match, it was exactly what I expected. It was better than I expected because The Rock is in great shape. He's in great ring shape. We know he's in great shape. The man has muscles in places I don't even have places. Shout out to Jerry Lawler. But he's in great ring shape. I mean, he took a table bump from another table. It wasn't just like, oh, I went through a table. It was a good bump. But like I said, now, tonight, Seth is screwed. He got speared through a barricade, and they worked on his bad leg throughout the match. He's got to deal with Drew McIntyre. And, of course, the main event is going to be Bloodline Rules. Cody and Roman. I don't know what else to say. It was a really good match. And as far as my overall reaction to Night 1, it was really good. I don't think there were any mishaps. I know last year, WrestleMania 39, Night 1 and Night 2 both had moments where you're like, And sure, technically, the Lucha tag match was like the slowdown point between the ladder match and Jimmy versus Jay. But I don't think any of these matches were slow or boring. The Lucha match was great. Damage Control's match was fantastic. Everyone was really into that match. So I think this WrestleMania will be the first WrestleMania in a very long time where both nights, all the matches, everyone wants to see. Of course, here we are at 17.5 minute mark. Tonight, Roman and Cody, the United States Championship triple threat match. EO versus Bayley. Bayley has to win that match. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. The 6-man tag team Philadelphia street fight. It's going to be really good. I'm looking forward to it. And if you think that The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth and Cody was a long match, I would get in for the long haul for tonight's main event. So that is my honest reaction to WrestleMania Night 1. As always, leave a like or a comment down below if you enjoyed it, if you absolutely despised every single second of it. Whatever your thoughts were, I'm very excited for Night 2, and obviously CM Punk. I've said it a bunch of times. I hope that's the first song we hear tonight. I want Drew and Seth to open the show, and I want that static to be the first thing Philadelphia hears. They'll lose their mind, and so will I. So thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I will see you for a WrestleMania Night 2 review, potentially tomorrow, maybe not. But until then, this is JT Channel. I am JT, and we'll see you next time.